So
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
here.
Petra.
Hi.
Petra,
Yeah,
hello.
I'm here. I'm just sitting a bit, a bit further, but I'm
Thank
here.
you.
And thank you for the introduction.
Yes, thank you for being trained by Flo to now bring those magnificent essence in
Thank
Europe.
you. Thank you. It's my honor. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Dominique, we also have Lisa. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. She's not, I don't think she's on yet. TSUK. She's in Israel, and she's also going to be starting with the essences. So we're
Wow.
very happy for that. Yes.
Awesome. And I want now, can we bring to the screen our beloved Ruth, which is our UK representative? Hi, Ruth.
Hi. Thank you,
So,
Dominique. That was
yeah,
lovely.
so I leave you, I leave us in your hands for this beautiful art feel you want to create.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. So I just want to join us all together in a place of the heart so that we can all deepen and really feel the Magdalene energy today. So if you'd like to just shut your eyes and get comfortable. Maybe put your right hand on your heart and your left hand on top of your right hand. And we're going to use the breath. So first of all, we're going to take 3 breaths this way and take a deep breath from in front of your chest right into your heart. And then exhale out the back of your heart, out of your back. And again, a deep inhale from in front of your chest into your heart. And exhale out of the back. And one more breath. In the front, into the heart. Exhaling out the back, clearing the heart to release the past. The next breath comes up from the earth, a deep breath through your feet up into the heart. And exhaling on out of the top of your head. And another from the earth into the heart. And on out through the top of the head in the exhale. And one more from the earth into the heart. And exhaling upwards out of the top of the head. The next breath comes down from the sky, in through the head and into the heart. And then exhale down through the feet into the earth. And another deep breath this way, from above, into the heart, and exhaling into the earth. And a third breath from above, into the heart, and exhaling down into the earth. And then a deep breath in from behind into the heart. And exhaling out the front of the chest. Another breath in from behind, filling the heart. and then exhaling out of the front. One more breath, in from behind, into the heart, and exhaling out of the front of the chest. Feeling the openness of the heart in all these directions. And now we can see, feel, imagine small golden threads of light emitting from our hearts and going to the heart of each and every one of us here. And all those little golden light threads coming back to yourself from each and every one here. Joining us all in the light and the breath of the heart. In the heart of the one. And feeling these lights going out into the world from our group to the people we know, to the people we don't know, to the hearts of every being. And feeling the heart of the Magdalene being with us, being in us, being part of us, as we are all part of the heart of the one. Connected together. In this beautiful heart of divine love. And when we open our eyes, we can look and see all these beautiful hearts in the little boxes on the screen that we're all connected to in such a beautiful way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
Now we will invite Helene, which is the other resource, French resource from Canada, to read a passage that was on the cover of I Remember Union that really touches us. So as Helene will read it, hi Helene. So we have it on the screen so you can follow us for those who are more of vision than hearing. And Helene, as you read it in French, I'm gonna do the translation in English. Alors, si tu veux commencer.
Parfait. Alors, allons-y. Et en commençant cette lecture, donnons-nous comme engagement de pouvoir vivre notre féminin divin le plus possible.
So let's start with this lecture. And as we read, just be in touch profoundly with our commitment on fulfilling who we are as the divine feminine.
Avec courage et compassion,
With courage and compassion,
Marie vit à partir de son cœur,
Mary lives from her heart,
ne permettant à personne
allowing no one else
de façonner sa pensée
to shape her thinking
ou d'influencer les décisions de son âme.
or influence the decisions of her soul.
Elle défie les lois humaines
She challenges the human laws
qui nous séparent de Dieu,
that separates us from God,
de nous
each other,
et de la terre.
and the earth.
Elle est jugée et ostracisée
She is judged and ostracized,
mais continue de choisir de vivre l'unité
and she continually chooses to live the unity
dont elle se souvient.
she remembers.
Quand elle regarde vers le futur,
As she looks into the future,
elle voit que dans 2000 ans,
she sees that in 2000 years,
les gens se souviendront aussi
the people will also remember
et choisiront de vivre dans la paix.
and choose to live in peace. Merci, Helene. So we want to welcome Flo. Hi, Flo.
Hello, Dominique.
Ah, that was profound and touching.
Yes, thank you, Helene, very much. It was very beautiful.
And I know we want this event to be about a very actual, present, alive energy of Magdalena. But for those who have not been with us or are with us for the first time, could you bring us back a little bit to who Mary Magdalena was in 2000 years ago? And what did she fulfill that was so important for humanity?
Well, Magdalene was able to hold what we call the design, which is a plan that all of us are united into and through to bring the highest outcome to the Earth's promise and to support us in our evolution so that we are able to personally benefit from all that we carry, and also we are able to open our heart enough to share and accept each other and to offer the promise of light to the world, because of course we think about Mary Magdalene as the light bearer, the carrier of light, and the emissary of light.
Awesome. And one question that comes to me, Flo, and by the way, people, this was we didn't prepare this interview because we want all the Shakti, all the energy of Magdalena to be able to present itself on the spot, right? On the spirit of the moment. And Flo, one question that comes to me is we are coming out of an era where religion have us praise saints. Saints in English, you say the saint, the saint, you know, like Mary, Jesus, so we are coming out from that era, and now people are aware that the divine is within us, right? So some people might say, Well, why again celebrate somebody that belongs to the design 2000 years ago, right? Why just not connecting to the source? Why Magdalena? What could you offer to them?
Well, I would say Magdalena is the source, as we are, as all life is. And each of us has a frequency, and we each have this very special essence, and we each carry something very unique. And Mary carries the energy of the stream from Isis, from the Great Mother, from Sophia. And what she does is empower us to live that divine feminine ourselves. And she is very present. As many of you know, she is in your lives. She is in your meditations. She is in your heart. She is calling you forth. And many of us are involved in creating a film about Magdalene. And what she has said very clearly to many of us is that her life is not complete yet, because the story of the truth of who we are and how we are represented in light needs to come before all of us in a very deep, visionary, clear way, so that we can begin making those choices. So as much as she lived 2,000 years ago, her essence has never died. And she feels, from her understanding she's given me, is that her passage is going to be fulfilled through us, through our vision of what it is to live in a world of light and peace.
So how could we relate to her right now? How could we have access to her right now?
Well, we had a very beautiful meditation from her this morning, which will be on YouTube and up on our site. And one of the things she said was to meet her in your heart, and that anytime you go into your heart, she's already there. And she doesn't just have vision, she has this capacity to inspire, to deeply inspire, and to open us to something great within ourselves, so that we also are inspiring for others. And at this time when everything is so inside out, having that inspiration is a great gift, and being able to inspire others is a great gift.
So through meditation, we could have access to her?
Well, we did a meditation, but it was really like a visualization. It's like seeing her. This morning we went to the Garden of Gethsemane. And so it is walking in your garden in sacredness. It is imagining yourself as a flower, as we did this morning. Seeing the flowers, everyone else as a flower. Seeing everyone as an alive being that's part of the sacredness of being in life. And I don't really go to her in meditation. I go to her with requests, with intentions, with questions, and also to ask her to be present in everything I do. And I think all you have to do is ask, and she'll be right there.
So she's kind of our sister, right? A sister that is there with
She's
us.
a sister to the men and to the women and to the elders and to the young and to all life. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Anything else you would like to share about her?
Well, she has a lot of courage. And she lived at a time when it was a very judgmental time. And that courage came from a conviction that the sacredness within us is untouchable. It's something that no one else can snuff out or diminish. And so she gave that courage a voice. She took the energy of her life and dedicated it to the energies of others' lives. And she was always present in those moments when the need was there to provide that inspiration or bring that light. So I think her message to us, besides whatever she will say later, is to know how important your light is and how courageous it is for you to bring it in this time.
Yeah, right. Because there was a judgment. It was a very judgmental time, specifically between men and women at that 2000 years ago. But if we look now with all what happens on the planet, there is so many oppositions, right? And the temptation for people to go by their opinions or on what's right, what's wrong. So how can we embody what she has to offer to us to bring this unity and this sacredness now in those very challenging times?
Well, one of the things she says to have us repeat is, I am light, and light I shall remain. So we bring light into and through the body, and that immediately takes us out of that duality of the world around us. And when we're in that sense of light, the love, the sacredness, the kindness, and the compassion is part of that field of energy that we start to create. And so in a sense, it's extending our presence further than we ever have, and moving it out like this very beautiful, the way she spoke about it this morning was wind. The strength of your breath is wind. So we could think about moving this very balanced space of this pure light and the strong breath of spirit and consciousness, and also this wind of breath, and move that out and begin to clear a space so that the space that we inhabit has this, it's a frequency or a tone or a way of being. And as we open this space out, it actually guides us and directs us in ways that our mind cannot. So it opens us to create a new foundation, to strongly connect to the earth, and also her big message is to remember, to put together again all of the parts of us that know and remember and understand, and to bring them into this ball of light and hold it and send it and use it and breathe it and be it.
And some of us are new in this conversation today. So when Mary Magdalena requests that we remember, what does she want us to remember for those who are here for the first time?
That we are light, will always be light. And that means literally that, if you think about light, you really can't separate anything out of it. It is what it is. It's an essence that has its own beingness. And if we all come into light, then we all come into that original place of oneness where we came from originally, where we originated, and where we decided to incarnate. And it brings this whole sense of being separate and not trusting and being different and worrying if we fit and comparing ourselves. And it takes all that away, because when we're light, we're just light. And there's nothing else we have to do. It's just being that light.
It's simple, but sometimes a challenge for the human that we are, right?
Yes, if we're in a dualistic thought of, is this right or wrong? Is it good or bad? Should I not? Yes. And perhaps what we could do is, whenever we're in one of those spaces of trying to choose between, is to come to the center, even put our hands together and just feel, okay, we have two sides. We have the left and the right, the good and the bad, the up and the down. Let's bring it together. Let's bring them together and then see how we feel as light. See how perhaps the light, the frequency, the sacredness, the breath, all these different aspects could settle us in that moment before we make a choice or before we decide, or even before sometimes that we think.
And I think we have time. That would be awesome. Would you guide us in an exercise where we can experience, giving each of us our essence, what we're up to? How can we empower ourselves through our relationship with Magdalena in that sense?
All right. So inside of our physical body, underneath our heart, where our ribs come together, is a place called the xiphoid process. And it's a little point at the base of the sternum. And Magdalene has taught us that right underneath that little point is the seed of light, is your seed of light. And inside your seed of light is your mission statement. It's your blueprint. It's who you are. It's your essence. It's a crystallization of your purity and your clarity and your divinity, right? So we can take 2 fingers of each hand and we can place them. I'll show you on myself where it is. It's right here. So that my rubs come here, and then it's right here. Okay, and so you can press in there. Close your eyes and ground your feet. Put your feet on the earth. And this is directly from Magdalene, this understanding about the seed of light. So if you go into this place, this is where your soul has the promise. It's your best friend. It has all of the information and guidance for this lifetime. So you can just breathe into that space and open the soul like a gate, or like you're walking into a beautiful cave, or you're going under a beautiful tree. Any image that comes to you that opens you to your soul vibration. And you breathe in, and as you breathe in, your fingers go a little bit more deep into your body, and then as you breathe out, you feel the seed of your soul expanding into the fullness of your physical body, and then beyond your physical body. And Magdalene's instructions always are to live from the soul. This is our point of light that we carry, that we've just been speaking of, that is essentially ours. There is no one on the planet exactly like we are who brings our promise. And so as we bring our energy, thought, and awareness to this place more and more, everything contained therein begins to open and be clearer, be more available, and we can connect with that in a way that opens us to our promise. And you could each now ask a question for your soul, and just wait to hear the answer. And you could ask something very simple, like, what will I receive today from my time with you, Mary? What do I carry away today with my connection to you? Or you could ask, what are we here to do together now? What can I help you with, Mary? What is it time for me to bring forth from my soul's essence? And then you breathe that out into the environment and space around you, and ground it someplace so that it becomes much more real for you. perhaps connected to the earth through your feet. Bring your hands together with your palms touching. Touch your heart, your belly, your third eye. Ground it someplace in your physical body. On your thighs with both hands. Just feel that you can now bring all that you are more fully into this moment. And even as we return to listen and experience, we can have our awareness sitting in our soul seed, wherever that is comfortable, and begin to hear from our soul. And then we can open our eyes and shine this very special essence from within to all of us.
Thank you. It's I'm present to the opportunity it is to kind of renew a vowel to the soul, right? Use this. Maybe some of you are here for the first time and you say, what? I might never have make a vowel to my soul. So it's time we can start that or renew, right? What am I up to? Fulfill here.
Magdalene really feels that we have, as a species, not ever all lived from our soul at the same time. And so the promise of this new earth is that we do that. We begin to all live from our soul. And that truly what that offers is the magic of creation, but also the sense that we all belong. We all have a place. We're all important. Everything that we carry is necessary, helpful, is supportive of life. We honor life as our way of being. And that everything that we have been taught about the distinction, the separation, the safety or lack of safety, all of that from the soul can be honored differently as part of our learning, and yet not something that we need to continue to learn in the same way. We can teach ourselves now. Whatever it is we came to learn, we can take responsibility to teach it to ourselves. So we don't need any other teachers that are hard to get along with. And we can begin to feel that we have choice. And it's very powerful when we have choice.
So we are co-creators of this new world then.
Absolutely.
And what is the vision of Mary Magdalena regarding this new world?
Well, when we all drop the walls that enclose us and no longer define ourselves as separate, and understand that our egos are there to support us to a certain degree, but that they are not our counselors. They are not our directors. They are not what we need to listen to. They're a part of the psyche, but they are not able to stand up to the soul, is my experience. The soul is so powerful that the psyche acquiesces to that. And so we have different options, and many countries, many religions, many cultures do not teach that we have the option to choose other than what has logically been demonstrated in the past. And we're also taught that we cannot see the future and we cannot plan it, actually, because we never know what's going to happen. So Magdalene is a great proponent of our capacity to see the design by going to the records of the Akashic ourselves or with others, to honor life in every moment, meaning that we respect and offer the highest intentions to each moment and each person and each situation, and that we follow guidance within us that doesn't come directly from logic, but rather from knowing. And it might be helpful for all of us to check in with our knowing, to feel into that space. And that's, again, something we could just do very simply, because our knowing is between the opposites. It's in the center of our core. It's in the center of our being. And we just bring everything that's not quite clear and just into silence, into a place of breath. And we sit with it. And then we allow the feminine left side and the masculine right side to join in harmony in our hands. And then we can bring those to prayer position or however we feel and breathe into the center of our hands. And we can try that now if you'd like to. Just breathe into the center of your hand. And feel that there's a magic there. That both sides of you are agreeing to come to center. And anything that's challenging can be resolved by being in this moment, in this way. And we offer this moment and request the divine fill our unified being with the truth of who we are, with the knowing of what we bring, and that this guidance begin to direct us in each moment, so that as we walk in the sacredness, we walk on the back of the Great Mother, and we are in a constant state of balance, state of grace, state of being. Now we notice that when we bring our hands together and we stop thinking for a moment, that the mind begins to clear. And if you have trouble clearing your mind, you can use, as Magdalene always says, she gave this at the chalice well one time, take your middle finger of one of your hands and tap, push it straight into your third eye. If you are thinking and you put your finger straight into the center of your forehead, you stop thinking. So if you're doing this beautiful hand mantra and you're still thinking, you can just take one hand and put that third finger right there in the center of your forehead and just breathe. And then go back to being in the center again. And just know there's always these little simple ways to find yourself and to live more fully in who you are.
Thank you, Flo. That was a very rich 20 minutes of information. And I'm sure a lot of people will love to hear back the recording. How could they get access to it?
Well, I think we're going to put it on YouTube, and we will put it up on the website as well.
So, and in which section of the website, the Soul Support website, they can look into to get this?
I think we'll create a new
Something.
area for today. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. And another very powerful, I would say, tools or means that she provides to us as a legacy is the Heart of the World flower essence, right?
Yes.
So I think it's worth it if we take just a 5 minute for people to stretch, if people need to go to the bathroom quickly, and come back as we can give a little even more. At 3 o'clock, we could meet again at 3 o'clock, and we will invite Nancy, who has been commissioned, to join us, so we can have a chat together about those magnificent essences.
Thank you, Dominique.
All right, everybody. See you. Hi, Nancy. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, I just realized it was on mute. I'm here.
Yeah, we'll wait. We still have a minute before it's 3, but maybe, Flo, do you want to join us? Because you were so buddying up with Nancy in this journey. So we can have the conversation, the 3 of us. Oh, so for those of you who meet the extraordinary Nancy Strachan for the first time, Nancy was the one commissioned by Magdalena to bring those essence in our reality. So Nancy, would you like to speak a bit about how all of this began?
I'd be honored to, and I thank you for the invitation to share. It's a combination of a lot of things. Part of it is my love, my deep love for France and the sacred sites, my deep connection to those places, and my love for Magdalene and the divine feminine, and my appreciation and the joy that I have in being in France in the fields of flowers. They just call to me in such a deep way. And also it has something to do with my commitment to awakening and planetary service in bringing something that's simple and so available. So that's part of it. And it goes back perhaps many lifetimes, but in this lifetime, about 20 years ago, when I went to this area in the south of France at La Valdue to learn from a master teacher how to make flower essences. So many, many years ago, I began the preparation for this, but I wasn't really doing anything with it until with Flo, we guided trips to France for a couple years and hope to get back to doing that. But after COVID diminishes, but we were in France and I took pictures of lots of flowers and also at the same time gathered lots of stones from sacred sites. And Flo and I were together shortly after I came back from France in 2018. And I said, you know, what's up with all this and how does it tie into some time that we had together a few years before with downloads from Magdalene and some things that we were guided to do together to help in the awakening of the planet. So the response was that when I went back to France the next year, that she commissioned me and invited me to make flower essences at several places that I was very familiar with: La Valdue, Bougarache, Saint Baume, and another place near Rennes-le-Château. So that was that was in 2018. And when we went back in 2019, as the trip grew closer, I realized that it was not just mine to do, that it was a shared birthing, and that it would be done in community and in sacred union. So that was very clear to me even before I went back to start the harvesting. So I invited others to harvest and pray with me and to be a part of any part of the process they wanted to be. So it was quite a community effort. There were many on the trip who were involved in many parts of the process. So that was the trip part. And then when we came back home, Flo and I were together again. And I said, what I'm challenged about is what these mean and how they can be applied and what good are they? And so for about 2 days, she and I sat at my dining room table and she channeled all this information from Magdalene. And I was just astonished at how powerful, really, truly astonished at how powerful they were. So the rest is history. We've been doing this since 2019, and it's lovely. It's precious to my soul to see it expanding around the world, and to now getting into the Holy Land, into Europe, and going more and more to the world, because as we all know, the world is in great need of tools. And I'm just honored to be a part of this tool to help beautifully, simply, lovingly, wholeheartedly with our beautiful divine flower essences to help awaken the planet to our full potential. So that's a little bit.
Thank you, Nancy. Anything you want to add, Flo?
Well, I want to share my screen. You think here how to do this. Here we go. See if it works. So here on the left side, we see one of the beautiful stained glass windows in the grotto.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Nancy with Jose, who is a French lady who was with us on the trip. Now let me see. I can't move this. Oh, that's interesting. Let me see if I can. There we go. And this, you can see the containers
We
of.
still see the first photo, Flo.
Okay, let me see here. I have the brush. Can you see? Whoops. Okay, here.
Yeah.
So this is the actual flower essences. If you see these little containers, these glass containers here, this is the water that was gathered, and then the flowers are in there and they're in the sun. Nancy, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I'll be glad to. When you gather the, whether you're gathering the flower petals or what, leaves, or sometimes we had acorns, different things, we were putting them in clear containers, clear glass containers of water from La Valdoux. And the requirements are that on a sunny day, they stay at least 3 hours in the sun. And if it's overcast, more. So we left them out anywhere from a minimum of 3 hours to 6 hours. But when we were at, particularly at St. Baume, there was this real strong guidance to leave them out overnight, so they would gather the lunar, the moon energy as well. So there's a real balance in these of the sunlight and the moonlight. And I think that's one of the unique things about it, that it has the masculine and the feminine, the night and the day, the moon and the sun, all of that to more fully sort of be captured and held in these beautiful essences. So that's us actually at St. Baume. So that window.
Can you see now Nancy making the essence?
No, we're still at the second photo.
Okay, so I'll go back. And here is the one of her making the essence. Can you see that now?
Yes, yes, indeed.
Okay, so this is in our hotel room. This is in St. Baume, right?
Yeah, that's St. Baume at the Dominican have a hostel there, and we were very lucky to be on the property that time where the flowers, 9 of our flowers came from St. Baume. So the last 9 in the Essence program came from St. Baume. And we didn't have, the interesting thing was when I was there, Flo and I were there with our first group, in June. So the flowers in the field at St. Baum, it was this beautiful, beautiful, big, huge field of wildflowers. And I just I was somehow guided to take pictures of all these flowers that were blooming in June. And then when we went back and got to St. Baum, it was September, and they had mowed the entire field down. So I thought, okay, what are our options? So we looked around and we found that there were still plenty of beautiful things available down in the field. And as we went up through the woods to gather the holly and the ivy, and then the 2 roses at the top right at the grotto. So there was still plenty, and it was divine perfect timing. But I did have a moment of, oh no, all the flowers that were here are not here now, but we'll use what's here. So there was that moment of timing shift, and it was all perfect and in order. But there was a little bit of a shock when I got there and the field was mowed down.
Yes, we can guess. Absolutely.
Well, you can probably feel the dedication that Nancy is giving to every single second that she's working with these essences. And it was really amazing, bringing them back from France and discovering what they were for and how to use them, and the strength of the flowers, which has actually increased over the last several years, is just really amazing.
And I think one of the things I like to share, some of you have heard this, but when Flo and I, particularly at St. Baum, when we were taking the flowers out of the glass bowls, we had our hands over each individual bowl, praying for the divas and the Magdalene energy, all the elementals, anyone that was participating in their coming together in this powerful collaboration. And it was quite fascinating and quite a gift to me to feel, as I moved my hand from this flower to another flower, to feel the difference. There was power in each one, but there was, for me, to be able to feel the differentiation was a huge gift. And I'll never forget that moment. It was like a eureka moment for me. So that was such a powerful thing that I remember about their power, but that they were different, and that the qualities that they held for us are unique. And I even the one we were given, some that we combined, some are single things, but then we were given the idea to combine the holly and the ivy and a couple of the lavender flowers, lavender color flowers at St. Baum. So it was quite fascinating to feel the difference and the power.
And speaking about power, first, Flo, is there any other picture you want to show, or we can come back with Nancy? Yeah, thank you, Flo, for this. Nancy, you spoke about the different qualities of the essences. How could they serve us, empower us in those times?
Well, each one has been identified for its unique quality, whether it's to help us. And some things are quite logical. When I learned to do the flower essences, one of the strong teachings was the flowers teach us by their structure, often how we can expect them to support us. So for instance, in Rennes-le-Château and in La Valdue, we use the essences of the oak, 2 different oaks. And so as you would imagine, the oak tree helps us to have strength and balance, and to call forth things, particularly in the La Valdue oak, it was bringing in heaven and earth and merging that. In Rennes-le-Château, it was gathering all of the things. It was a place of gathering and holding. So each one has been identified to give us some assistance, whether it's opening our heart to have trauma healed with our number 14, which is so powerful. Our number 14, dark rose from the grotto, is so powerful that when I was given the instructions on each one on how many drops to use from the mother for each bottle that would go out to individuals, that one is the only one that uses just 1 drop. that rose is so powerful that one drop goes in your bottle, that the rest of it is brandy. So it's quite fascinating how one drop can hold that power. So the power to heal trauma in that bottle is real. I've used it. I've sent it to Rwanda, where women have lost their children, and it's helped them recover, to recover some sense of knowing that they're supported and that they're loved in that deep trauma of losing a child. So these things are real, and they're powerful. So each one has been given at least one or more properties. And I think two of the things that are amazing about these essences that put them in a different kind of place in the world. It's not on a shelf at a drugstore or at a wellness center, but that we have conversations with Magdalene about what they're for, and that they have evolved. Their power has been upped. It seems like as the world is just more and more and more challenging, and this and that is going on, it's like, okay, we're going to give you some essences. And as the world needs more benefit and more power, we have realized that these essences have grown to meet that. So that's a huge gift. It just staggers me. It staggers me every time we have a conversation with Magdalene about what's up now with the essences. So I'm excited to see what she's got to say today, because wow, is our world needing to hear from her about what these essences can offer. So it's an exciting time for me. So,
Well, Nancy, I thought it might be fun to relate to our friends here how we actually obtained that beautiful rose.
you want to tell that story?
Well, I don't know. I mean, can you
Okay.
tell it better
Well,
than you go ahead.
well, this is disclosure. We didn't ask anybody at St. Baume for permission to gather anything. We just did it. And especially when we got to the grotto is, there's a plaza. And at a particular place on the plaza is this very, very, very powerful statue, Pietà. And it has not only Mother Mary and Christ, Yeshua, but it has Magdalene. So all three of the key figures at the crucifixion are there. And it's very, very powerful. And on the left side is a pink, as you look from the grotto over the valley of France. We're way up, high up on the mountain. And as you look from the grotto, on the left side was the pink rose, which is the number 15 flower. And on the right side was the dark pink rose. So the light pink rose and the dark pink rose. And as I said, we were there in September, and there weren't many blossoms on the bush. And there were a lot of people coming and going on the plaza. And there were Dominican friars coming and going on the plaza. So Flo's going, how are we going to get these? Because it was in a very conspicuous kind of place. So I said, we'll just wait till the friars get back in where they're going and when there's not many people. And I'll just really quickly grab one, and you get the bag nearby, and we'll nip that bud. So I think if I'm not mistaken, we got one of the last two red roses that was blooming and one of the few pink ones. And we put them, because we wanted to harvest them and get them down the mountain and get the petals fresh into the water. It was kind of a quick thing, but it was kind of a grab and run kind of a situation. And we had permission from Magdalene, so I didn't need any other authority. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, I was the lookout.
Yeah.
And she had, now you can't touch the flowers, no human can touch the flowers. And this rose was about this big, right, Nancy? It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the most beautiful roses I've ever seen. Very big. And so we're looking around, and she's got the scissors, and she's got the plastic bag, and all of a sudden there it was, we did it. And it was just so much fun, because it was, the friars have been there for a very long time, and there is a lot of ritual that they do not allow us to have. one of them being sound. You know, they're trying to control all of us New Age people from all over the world who come to the grotto. So it's kind of a tussle sometimes, and it was really lovely. And I just wanted to talk about that because it really shows Nancy's determination, and that she has this very clear sense of what's needed and provides that, you know, brings that forward. And I'm just really so honored to be your partner in this, Nancy.
Thank you. It's my honor and joy. I just love doing this. And I'm excited to, to speak about it anytime. And thank you for having the pictures. That was lovely too. And I'm sitting in the valley of La Valdu in this picture. This is a picture. I'm in La Valdu in the valley, and in the background is Mount Bougarache. So this is sort of ties in La Valdu and Mount Bougarache, which are two sites in France that we gathered these from. And the lavender was actually gathered in up in the caldera of Bougarache, where Flo channeled Judas. So that was quite a powerful and unexpected location, because lavender typically doesn't bloom that in September. It's a June, July kind of thing in France, but we were high enough up that we could harvest. So that was another gift of the divine timing of that lavender being available from this place where the Essenes were holding the Holy Family after the crucifixion. The Essenes actually had community on that mountain. So to be able to get lavender from there was just, I'm staggered by the timing of everything. I look back and I go, oh, wow, perfect timing. So quite auspicious.
Nancy, thank you for your great dedication.
Yeah,
It was awesome to hear the background, the story.
Everyone has a story, and
yes.
all the water we use is from a very sacred well that's deeply connected with Magdalene at the Valley of God. It's called the Source, and this is holy water, and we used it in every essence. So not only the flowers, but the water that we used was quite sacred water too, and lovingly gathered by someone on the trip who didn't mind going down the hill to get it. So thank you to the water as well.
Yeah. All right, is it time to hear what Magdalena has to say about those essence, Flo?
All right, here we go. All right, everyone. So let's gather the energies that we each carry and settle in those energies. Settle in our breath, in our body, in our heart. Connect with the earth through our feet. And imagine again that you can focus on your soul seed. You can hear Magdalene from your soul. Make a choice to live from your soul, to speak from your soul, to relate, create from your soul. Today I would like to bring forth all worlds in the heart of the world flower essences, so that in this time of great turmoil, we may begin to, together, honor a foundation of earth and her flowers, so that this gathering of the world energies can be brought forth through the flowers, through our lives and our bodies, into the heart of the One, into the heart of all time, and that together we can offer another tribute to the earth, another tribute to the flowers, and also benefit from these amazing flowers of grace that we have the inestimable ability to honor. We cannot even estimate how much this honoring is possible or how deeply it is received. There is in the story of humanity many gaps between the species of human and the kingdoms of nature. And I am always prospering, moving back and forth between you and the earth, and you and the flowers, and you and the soil, and you and the water, and you and the sky, and on and on. All of the kingdoms are honored in this way that prospers life. And I weave back and forth and in and out through the pathways that the heart provides me and that the heart provides you. We are provided for in many ways that we have as humans not actually recognized or made available to ourselves. Recently, in ways that we've spoken of before in these communities, there has been a blending of all of the flowers of any one type throughout all of the world, so that each flower that was harvested by Nancy and this community as part of these Heart of the World essences are holding integrity for all of the flowers of that type or genus. And we have recognized the power of this to not only affect the world through the flowers, but receive the benefit of all of the flowers returning to us simultaneously at the same time in the same way through these pathways of the subatomic. And being subatomic, these flower essences provide an initial or original vibration in each cell of the body that responds to the tuning of this weaving between dimensions, times, spaces, and literal places. We are at a time when the ability to bring forth all at one time has been enhanced because of this destabilizing of structure that we now experience in many ways in each country. We are feeling that the earth is shaking, or the ground is quaking, or there is less available structure to sustain us. And so, of course, we each know in our spiritual presence that it is then up to us to create our own structure. And that as we create that structure, we are given more opportunity than ever before to make it what we want, to live how we want to live, to share as we've always wanted to share, to receive as we've always wanted to receive, to be alive in ways that our parents, our ancestors did not allow themselves to be alive. I could say we're not allowed, but actually they did not allow themselves. They could have. And we are being given opportunities in this 21st century that in a very deep and true way takes what we could think of as habit or ritual or culture or rules or dogma, whatever, however we might want to think about it. And it is in the shifting sands of this time, available to gather what we wish to gather and let go of the rest. So the flowers make it possible to structure ourselves in a safe way, subatomically, in a way now that is different than before, even last week. And to honor that the commitment of the flowers and of the earth and of spirit, and my commitment and all those that I hobnob with, in all dimensions, we are all gathering now. And we are gathering in a way that has not happened before. And we could think of this in several ways. We could think of it as a disaster. We could think of it as an opportunity. Or we can think of it as a promise. And in the way that I am experiencing it is a promise. And it has always been promised us. A time when that has been structuring us, that which has structured us, and that which has held us firmly within the walls of convention, are no longer available to do so. And we can step out, we can step around, we can plow it down, we can lift above, we can do anything we wish to honor that it is now our opportunity and our promise that is, in a literal way for us each, the new way forward. Anytime that you find yourself coming to a wall of any type, it can be thin, it can be invisible, it can be very powerful. Again, put your hands together, sit for a moment in the wisdom of your own knowing, and begin to feel, so what is the promise of this moment? How do I move forward in a way that will acknowledge my life, my understanding, my wisdom, and the promise of who I really am? Now that flower process that we have described took the essence of what the earth had provided in the stems and through the leaves and into the bloom itself, and held it there for us. This process holds the essence that's true from the flower, and it communicates it to the water that it's sitting in, from the sunlight that's holding it, into the bottle that it's brandied into, and it becomes a signal, like a harbinger of change, a process of being involved in something greater. Because each flower represents not just its own species, its own element, its own color, or its own texture, or shape, or essence. It represents the field, it represents the earth, it represents the country, it represents time, and it represents also this promise. So when we take a subatomic promise, it actually restores a different part of us than culture has ever held for us or could restore. It offers us this opportunity to come again into the birthing process, to be aligned with the structure of creation, and to open that in a dimensional and fantastically beautiful way, so that our body responds as if it's a flower, as if it's truly connected to time and space and order and being, and the space of the place of front, and all of these elements begin to weave together and provide an excitation in the body itself. And that excitation is focused in a way that provides an opportunity to restore or activate or clarify or foundation or express or open out from or believe in or trust, many, many different ways that the flowers open the doorways for our consciousness to discern itself through however we are imbued through these flowers. Our protocols have deepened, expanded, and felt deeply in each moment, as if they are providing new gateways, new visions, and new openings in every single moment for all reality and all beauty and all people. So we are here at this time to look at how the destructuring could be an opportunity or an opening for this new way of being, to honor that every part of our celebration today is to move any barriers from ourselves, to take them actually apart, and to begin to feel how the flowers are our friends, our sisters, our brothers, our lovers, whatever we feel they are, and that in their essence, they provide us with this opportunity to dissolve into their essence and have their essence dissolve into ours. Flowers are timeless. They do not have a structure that holds itself interminably. It's just for a short time. So they are savoring life absolutely. Absolutely. And whereas we would say in the human condition, oh, I will do it tomorrow, or I will do it whenever, or I don't feel like it right now, or well, the sun or the moon will be there tomorrow, I'll go out then, or I'll just take my time and oh, I missed it, oh, that's too bad, but it's okay. The human condition is one of representing time as something that is immeasurable. It can just go on, it goes on, and there's an assumption. Where flowers in each microsecond are receiving, gathering, inspiring, and expanding as big as possible. Each flower expands as big as possible. And it doesn't wait for anything. There's no condition upon its bloom, actually. It seeks whatever it is that will find its way forward to provide this energy of absolution and absoluteness. Because flowers do not hold on to trauma or ideas or beliefs. So those flowers that we have gathered have a role to play in this time specifically to help us to gather more of our essence in each moment, just like they do. And it's like sitting right in the middle of something that's growing around us and feeling like we can grow with it. And so that we are part of the growth. So the flower is initiating our growth right now. It's encouraging us to be all that we are, to expand out, and to honor the commitments that we've made to ourselves and to our knowing without hesitation, So the message from the flowers right now is there is no time to wait. There is even no time to hope. There is even no time to pretend or to hope that you can be perhaps who you might be at some point. It is time to leap. It is time to take the essence of who you are and fully inscribe it in your life, so that in an inscribed life becomes the temperate, balanced, clear space from which you expand. So you expand from the knowing of who you are, and the absoluteness provides you with this destiny that you are now coming together to experience and live fully. So we are here at this time to deliver with you to the promise of earth, the promise of us, the promise of each and every understanding and available space and available truth, so that we together assist in this birthing of this new earth planet, this new place, this new being. Now, it is defined by absoluteness. So you can say for yourself in this moment, am I absolute right now? Is all of me here right now? Am I waiting for something or a sign or someone else? Or am I here? Am I designing the moment from the truth of my being? And that is the question that I ask each of you in this moment, that the flowers are asking you, and that really and truly it is time for. It is time that the promise be aligned with the divine in your being and be brought forth, so that the destiny that you carry is available in this moment. Now, each of you wants to ask that question. How do I best bring my absoluteness to dwell in my heart and soul? As it dwells in my heart and soul, how do I bring it forth to live it as my life? Which flower is the pathway to this birth? Now, you can use essences. You can use the rose of pink is unconditional love. You can use this pathos, of the number 14, which is the healer of the divine feminine and the divine masculine's use and experience with the divine feminine. You can use the essence of the flower, or you can use its color. You can use its texture. You can use the way that it wants very much to express to you who it is. You can have communion with it other than the essence. In other words, the absoluteness in you knows. And there may be one or two or three essences that are cornerstones to developing in yourself this understanding of how to bring forth your absoluteness. Sometimes the color of the flower will match the color of your soul. Sometimes it will match the color of your vision. Sometimes it will match the color of the clarity of the vision, like the wholeness of that vision. Sometimes it will be the vision itself. Sometimes it will be the accumulation or culmination of that vision. So the future. Sometimes it will be what you're moving out of. Sometimes it will be what you need to feel the structure when the outer structure is no longer available. So the essences are again open. All 16 of them are open. So the protocol is to find the 3 that will most foundation in a triangle, in a pyramid shape, the manifestation of you. You're in the center of that manifestation. And you have 3 points. which 3 points are going to hold you steadfast, which are going to call forth from you the strongest, highest, most absolute space that you've come to bring. And the sense that there is not a lot of time or not enough time is one idea. And if we replace that with, it's time for the absoluteness, then we empower that absoluteness. And we ask that the structures which have held us, and they can be invisible, absolutely. They can be just barely perceived, or perhaps very, very structured. It doesn't matter whether you perceive them or whether you feel them. You're choosing flowers that will replace that structure so that you don't need it, so that you're creating your own pyramid of manifestation in the consciousness of who you are, carrying that into the world so that you structurally hold a new reality, a new earth, a new space. Now, the weaving that I do between the dimensions and the flowers and the earth and you are what I'm inviting you to also accomplish yourself. So that you begin with the flowers and the earth and the essence and your own being. Because there's no structure, you just begin to weave it all. And as you weave it, what you need in the world goes away. And you are all there is. You are all that is. And it is not that you do not join, or share, or love, or cooperate, or co-create. It's that you do each of those things more fully, because nothing's in the way. And the structure that you've come to think of as necessary, as it dissolves, weaves all of these levels of understanding and awareness and acumen together, so that you are able to feel immediately that the foundation of your heart, the foundation of your life, and the foundation of the promise of your essence is all the same. It's in consistent time with the moment. It's held in the dynamic of creation herself, itself, himself. The flowers, the earth, the timing of the blooming, the absoluteness of being, weaves through you. In every second, there's this feeling that you are alive with pure beingness. And that, of course, is joy. It's the sense of belonging to every molecule of consciousness through your subatomic form, which is rejoicing and vibrating with that receptivity, receiving everything from the universe that is there to receive, and breathing it back out, and living and weaving all of this in one motion, one life, one experience. So when you are in a consultation with one of these lovely distributors, actually they are all ladies, with one of these beautiful ladies, you will experience together that there is a vision of a pyramid in front of you. And there are 3 points that are clearly calling you to establish in yourself the absolute structure that is your inherent pattern of being. So you may call forth an essence, or an essence may call forth you to represent it, or to utilize it as a stepping stone for you to ground it on the earth for others, for you to emulate that energy within the bodies of your experience, your emotion and mind and spirit, as well as your physical body. It may be that the combination of the 3 gives you a formula where when all 3 are present, there's courage, there's determination, There's understanding, there's wisdom, there's softness. And the softness and the moving forward and the understanding and the grace becomes the essential way that you are absolute. Each of you will have a cornerstone that is different from someone else. You may take each of the essences separately in a certain sequence or all at the same time. This is the only time that I've ever said this, but you can take one of the three in the morning, one of the three in the afternoon, and one of the three in the evening, each being separate if the three want to come in the stability space for you so that your essence is held by those three. And then you would determine, well, which one do I do first, second, or third? So this is a combination for you that is identical to the imprint of your design for this timing, for how you evolve into your next space of being. Or perhaps for some of you, the space of being. And there is no way to compare it, this one, that one. It is so beautifully individual, just like each flower. If you look at a whole field of roses or daisies or cyclamen or anything you want, each flower is different. And it is the coming together of each of those flowers in the field that gives humanity the understanding of what harmony is, of what grace is, of what it is to share space. And all of these little, minute, deeply established wisdoms that are in the flowers are communicated to you when you use these flowers or hold these bottles or pray with these or create intentions, because in order for the flower to grow, in order for a flower to bloom, it must be in harmony with itself, with the earth, with its surroundings, and with its community, with the above and the below, with the sun and the rain and the moon. Every flower is a harmonic. And so you want to understand that the flower essences are teaching you this harmony when you use them. It is not just, oh, this is the essence of clarity, or this is a protective sacred one from this mountain or from St. Baum, or it is so much more than that. And as we have discovered, and I have already repeated for you, each flower is the microcosm of itself for the whole planet. So there is all of this exchange going on through the species. Just like in our species, no matter where we are in the framework of evolution, there is communication. And it's usually not conscious, but it's happening. We feel everything that everyone else on this planet is feeling right now. Because we are in oneness, always, even though we are not aware of it. The flowers make us more aware. They bring us more of a temperate energy, a balanced energy, a calm awareness. They bring us the understanding that their presence offers us all their absoluteness every single time we use them. And that we can also live that absoluteness from their essence and their encouragement and their structure and all of the weaving that they do all of the time to bring us their beauty and their truth. Each of you has an opportunity now to step into this absoluteness with the flowers to assist you should you wish to do so. Each one has a quality And you may wish to work with the quality, with the structure, with the essence, with the color. It is totally a new ballgame here, because no matter what I have said each flower represents, what I have encouraged you to honor in each flower, please do that, yes. And yet have your own relationship with each flower. Look at each flower and feel its essence, its color, its location, and how it could be one of your cornerstones. And then feel in combination with others what that provides you. So you will have the assistance of your consultant, but you also have in this time a very strong, I will just say for you, I am imploring you to go into this absoluteness inside yourself. Feel what supports that from your own essence, and then see which of those essences is reflected in the flowers that you are beholding, in these beautiful heart of the world flowers. What will be the combination that will most provide the example and the mirror of that absoluteness for you? And the number of drops, the ways that they are taken, the ways to hold the bottle first, the invitation to communicate with each of the essences, the relationship you have, you can all discuss with your consultants and feel into yourselves. And as you know, these are only available to you personally, so that you have my auspices, the auspices of the distributors, the essence of the flowers, and the relationship with earth that we bring to each decision you make, each way that you wish to utilize any of these essences. It is all woven into a texture through the subatomic that offers you the truth of who you are in relationship to this new earth, the new world in which you live. And as the structures are dissolved and you bring a new structure in place that is much more fluid, much more open, has no conditions, is part of the weave, others learn to weave. The world learns to weave. And this is the promise that this planet is literally unifying its elements, essences, kingdoms, species into one harmonious state of grace. I thank you for being part of this experience, for being part of the demonstration of these possibilities in the world. And I offer for each of you my presence in your determination while you are consulting, when you are imbibing or holding these essences, using them in any way, that they are part of this fabric of light and life that I bring and that you bring and that the earth brings, and that all of the spirit and all of the elements of the kingdoms bring, so that we can work together. It is the time for us to work with all elements, essences, and kingdoms. To listen, to hear, to write, to describe, to express, to share. It is a new time. And there are no walls here. When I say structure, I want to be very clear that it is a way of holding essential energy and nothing more. It is permeable. There is invitation, sharing, alignment, and grace in every moment. And we are ready for this as a community of souls who has come to do just what we are describing here. So know that we are in oneness, we are light, and light we shall remain, and that every part of us is always unified in the weave of the heart and of the essence through our beingness. And so it is.
Wow.
All right. So, um, just so you know, we have Lisa here. I see you. I'm going to put you in a spotlight, sweetie. This is our newest distributor, and she's in Israel. Lisa, hello. I'm so glad you're here today.
Hello, thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Yes, yes. So we are growing and expanding. And thank you for joining us. Yeah. Okay. So if you have questions, we're going to be breaking out into groups so that you can choose a distributor to work with. Right now, Helene, trying to say her name correctly, Helene and Dominique are working with Canadians, anyone with French in their name. And then Nancy is taking your consultant requests, and I am as well, and Ruthie is as well. Ruthie's in England. And you want to take some? Petra's learning, so she'll be. So Lisa, you can be with me if you should choose to, and we'll do some together. And so Laurin is putting those breakout rooms together. I think what we need to do first of all is, are there any questions about anything that was spoken today? Anything that you'd like to ask about? You could unmute yourself and do that if you'd like. Anything that anyone wants to share? Or
Yes.
ask?
There's Bob.
Yes, Bob.
For those of
Aho.
oh, sorry.
So go ahead, Bob.
For those of us who've been in, should we just leave now and not go to the room and let the people who are just starting out be in the rooms?
Yeah,
Or should we be there as well?
if you know that you'd like to make an appointment with one of us and you know how to do that and you want to do that later, that's fine. If you want to set that in place now, you can go into one of the rooms and actually get an appointment, because we're giving appointments today. So if
Okay.
you'd like to do that.
And it's critical timing, because we have an event Sunday that occupies a lot of our time. And then Tuesday, Flo and some of us are gathering for some training in Pennsylvania. So, you know, the next couple of days are the window of opportunity, next 2-3 days until the following week. So just to put that in, because several of us are heavily involved in other activities. Just to make sure you get them as soon as you can.
So was there another comment or question?
I think there was Lucy. Lucy, was there something you want to say, or that's fine?
Non, c'était plus un commentaire comme souvent, ouais, comme souvent on dit aho, c'est comme en gratitude.
She said it was more a comment. She said often we say "ah-oh" as a sign of gratitude. So that was what I expressed.
Thank you, Lucy. All right, I'd like to thank you all for coming. For those of you who are going to be going into your different rooms, thank you for your interest in the flower essences and also for your connection with Magdalene. This is a really important time to be living through the essences that she has talked about in terms of this absoluteness. And it's a new time to look at all of the essences again and see which ones will provide us with what each of us individually would most benefit from. So thank you very much for that. Yeah. All right. So Laurin, yes, honey.
So, will people tell me what room they want to go in, or I can set up the rooms where people seem to choose them, or
How do we choose the rooms?
what will work most efficient?